think you'll fall through with it?
I don't know. I really hope not, because I can't really do my job from that position. I got to keep the stats, so it's going to be tough.
Is that what you keep?
I keep his board, so I do the deflections and the turnovers and the field goal percentage and steals.
Your teammates get on you if you don't credit them with enough deflection?
Yeah, actually they do. Steven's the biggest case. Did you see my deflection? Yeah, Steven, I got it.
You want to be a coach, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why you want to be?
I just think I love the game so much. I love being around it. I think it's what I'll be best at in life. So, it's something I enjoy, and if I can get paid to do it, absolutely.
How
So.
long have you known you wanted to be a coach?
I'd say a couple of years now. I mean, probably after my sophomore year is when I started seeing myself getting more into the coaching role, when I got more comfortable and with being here and kind of speaking up and giving ideas and having coach give me some feedback and stuff like that, and realizing it was something that I think I'd be good at. So.
Of the assistants and head coaches you've been through quite a few. Who would you most resemble as a coach, you think?
I'd like to say Richard and Coach Masiello, because I mean those are two of the hardest working guys I've ever seen. I mean those guys are unbelievable at what they do, and they're going to be very successful. So I'd have to say I would love to be just like them one day. So.
At what level do you want to coach?
I'd like to coach as high as possible here, college, high major if I can.
How difficult has it been for you not to be able to play the last year?
It's been pretty tough, after the first injury, going through it and working so hard to get back, and just looking forward to every single day, getting back out on that court and then having it happen again. It's been pretty tough this year, but you really kind of can't really look at it in a negative way. You just got to look at it as, I'm getting a opportunity to kind of pursue what I want to do later in life. So if I can get some experience now, then all the better.
Could you have redshirted and maybe tried?
Yeah, I still can. I could still get a redshirt year back and still play if I want to, and that's going to be something we decide once my rehab is over, and we'll see what happens. So.
Here or elsewhere?
No, not here. Not necessarily here. It would be, I don't know where. I mean, I haven't really thought about it. I've been kind of just living in the moment and working on what I want to do later in life. So with the whole coaching thing, I've been kind of embracing that. And if I can still play, that'll be an option. But that's something I'm going to have to talk to Coach and see what's in my best interest for the future. So.
If you're going to be a coach, would it make more sense to go ahead and?
Absolutely. It would make much more sense to just get a head start and start right away. But you know how us athletes are. We don't like to give it up. So it'll be tough, but that's something that Coach and I will talk about once the season's over and once we get through these moments now and we make the decision. So.
When you look back, it has been such a tough career, but a lot of good moments in your career. What are some of the things that you'll remember most about these 4 years?
I think just the people. Being in this organization, just surrounded by great people. Coach is one of the best guys I've ever been around, and one of the most caring individuals, as hard as he pushes you, and he gets the best out of everyone. And just all our coaching staff, the revolving door of coaches we've had here, I mean, just building relationships with every single one of them. I mean, Kareem's only been here for a year, and I'd like to say he's one of my friends and somebody that I could talk to, and just like all the assistant coaches that are here now and the ones that have been here, it's been a great experience to be able to meet all these great people and make so many great connections.
What do you do to try to keep staff? He said suggestions, I guess.
Well, I mean, when I said that, I was more talking when I was a player. When we were going through plays and stuff, and I would see something out on the court, that type of thing. I would mention it like, hey, maybe we could run a ball screen over here instead of over here, and Coach would let me look at it. If it works, it does. If it doesn't, just things like that. And then trying to, even during practice now, trying to get out there and be a little bit involved. It's tough to do, not being in a role that the assistants have. They do their job very well. So they're every time you think about saying something, they probably already said it. So it's been an experience.
Sitting there on the bench, do you think maybe basketball is a game better now too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I understand a lot more that goes into it than when I was just a player, You see things from a completely different spectrum, and you listen to the coaches in a different way than when they're almost correcting you. It's a little different to see the messages when you're seeing them correct somebody else. So it's a little different.
What will you remember most about Peyton?
Peyton, personality. I mean, just always upbeat, always just a caring, great human being. I mean, you don't even see him as the superstar he is when you've been around him this long. You just see him as a really good friend and just a great person. So I think that's one thing that I think everybody on this team will take away when Peyton leaves is just his character.
What do you think tomorrow's going to be like?
I think tomorrow's going to be a great atmosphere. I think, coming after that 5 overtime loss is going to be, the fans are going to be into it and the crowd is going to be into it. I think it's going to be, really exciting with the hype of it being the last game of the season and us being so good as we are this year, and hoping to do really big things in the tournament. I think this game will be huge for us.
How would you say Peyton has changed from freshman year to
I think the big thing that's changed with Peyton is maturity. I mean, he's grown so much as a player and a person the 4 years. I mean, I can see it. Everybody can see it. You could ask the coaches. Just his play from freshman year to sophomore year to junior year to senior year has gotten better exponentially as far as decision-making and maturity and running the team rather than just being on the team. So
maturity, would he ever, as a freshman, maybe sulk over a mistake or something like that?
Yes and no. I mean, everybody sulks over a mistake at times. Peyton was always pretty good at that, when I say maturity, I mean more along the lines of decision-making, like freshman year. Say he would throw a lob that he wouldn't throw this year, he'd make a bad turnover that he wouldn't make this year. Those types of things are what I mean by maturity.
From when Gordy first came to the team until now, what has that journey been like with that group?
Gorgie is like night and day from when he got here. I mean, Gorgie is just like Peyton, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met, just caring. He'll do anything for anybody on the team, He's the guy who came in as really shy, didn't know anybody. I mean, out of his element completely, like just in a different country, just not knowing many things, didn't speak English very well. And now you look at him a couple of years later, and he's the one in the locker room talking and making jokes and laughing with everybody and just being involved. And he has just grown exponentially as a person. So Gorgie is just, it's been a great experience to see him grow up as well.
What's your academic situation?
I'll graduate in spring with a sports administration degree. As of now, I'm just going to use that. If the talk is, if I do want to try and play again, it would basically be to get a master's, try and get some more education out of basketball for what I can do, and then we'll see.
Anything else for Mike?
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.